Hello and welcome to the official HubNut NEC Classic Motor Show report. I'm going to do something I have not done in this show yet. This is our second day actually. I'm going to step beyond my own clothes rack. I have not been into this much of the show, and we've got Hall 3A there, then Hall 3, Hall 2 over the other side of the concourse, Hall 1, and there's probably still bits of Hall 4 and 5 I haven't seen yet, so let's go. We'll start with the Reliant Owners Club because they've got a Fox camper, one of the 6 I think surviving Tandy campers built on the Isle of Wight, and they've got a car that's going to die as well. The Reliant Ant on the left here is a breaker. It's been bought so bits of it can help live and help another one live. Unfortunately, it was quite badly damaged when being transported for the previous owner, so the chassis is all buckled and twisted, and yeah, the cab has all been damaged by being lifted up in incorrect ways. But this is the Reliant Ant, got the classic little Reliant engine with its SU carburetor right next to the driver, tiny little footwell with lots of damage in the floor, and yeah, this weird sort of rear axle. They're not entirely sure where this rear axle's from. I think that is what Steve is going to be using on the Ant he is restoring, so it will live on, but it's made it to the show really just to say goodbye, which is a little bit sad. But look at this one, this has been fully restored. That is absolutely lovely, and we got the Bond bugs next to them as well. All good times. Now, I'm not sure I remember the Bond Owners Club having its own display, but here we go. We've got the original Bond mini car with its turning power plant. So there's got a wheel that side. If we come around the other side, you can see there's the engine. The engine hangs out in front of the wheel, drives it by chain, and the whole power plant rotates, and that's what gives you your steering. So that's the earliest form. This is a Mark D, which is starting to look a bit more like a car. It's got front wings for wheels it doesn't have, and that evolved into the full body version here, represented by this Mark F. So that's starting to look like a proper car, but it's still got exactly the same power plant. They've got some other displays as well, but I'm a bit early, they're still covered up. And then the last Bond was the 875, which terrifyingly packed a Hillman Imp power plant into the rear, into this rather light fiberglass body. It must have been absolutely terrifying. Note the restricted windows, just that rear bit slides open. So a crazy thing, very, very quick. They detuned the Imp engine and they were still terrifying. Wonderful to see. Messerschmitts are also always a joyous thing to see. We've got a Tiger here. Well, the car and driver were at the first NEC show 40 years ago. As a Tiger, the TG500, terrifying four-wheeled Messerschmitt. This is 1954, the earlier design. Perspex top, just this glass section here with a little windscreen wiper. Excuse me. Evolved into the KR200. This one a convertible, also at the show 40 years ago. Amazing. And this is funky. Wow. County Classics Motor Museum. Oh, that's down in Devon. It's a fairly new museum. It's only recently opened, I think. So worth checking them out. So that's your Messerschmitts. Around the corner, we've got the BMW setters. We drove one recently. Amazing little things. So these are the later ones, like the one I drove. And here's an earlier one with the earlier window design, much more of a bubble car. But BMW did evolve the Isetta quite a lot using their own 4-stroke engine. And the rival to the Isetta is the Heinkel, or Trojan if it was built in the UK. And again, we've got a lift up front door, but the steering wheel is fixed on these. It doesn't move. But I believe these have better balance than the BMW Isetta, because the engine's more rear mounted rather than side mounted. I've also got a lot of military Land Rovers about. Take a look at some of these. Oh my gosh, it's a forward control hearse. That's an unusual vehicle. Wow, what a way to go. We've got Series 1s, looking absolutely lovely. And the Gay Classic Car Group, I think the Gay Classic Car Group know how to party, so they're not in yet, removing the covers. We cannot see what's under the cover, but it is a Twingo. We'll come back and have a look later on. But look at this Lancia Beta. Absolutely lovely. Left-hand drive one. An Automatica, sold new in Ghent, Belgium. We've got the Lampredi twin cam engine. Very unusual car, very rare, because they all just rusted away. Superb Volvo here, 144, loving the white walls. Was that a Rustival? I think it was at one of the Rustivals. Porsche 911, Lotus Elise, Land Rover and a Range Rover. That's a good mix of cars, people. Then we got Montegos. It's anniversary year for the Montego. MG Montego turbos here. And around the other side, go and look at some estates. Oh, look at this, that is mint. C61 end, beautiful HL estate. We drove an HL fairly recently. We're just taking in this, look at the braking mechanism on that. Military Land Rover, that's quite funky. P38 Range Rovers, ADO 16s. But yeah, that's the Montegos celebrating 40 years. So no Maestros this year, just Montegos. That's Lynx Bronze. My dad's Montego was a pre-facelift, was Lynx Bronze. I'm pretty sure that's Lynx Bronze. Shambolic, love it. Love to see cars that aren't mint. And all of the brown. We've got Allegros variously as well. And, oh, looking very sporty. Oh, very stylish. Look at this model. Loving the beige Series 3 estate. Marinas, Land Rovers, early Land Rovers, Discoveries there. Princesses, I'll have the one in Reynard, please. Oh, look at this. Very early Morris 1800. It was less than a year, I think. These cars were marketed under brands such as Morris, Wolseley or Austin before Princess became its own brand. Nick Larkin, yes, my former colleague Nick Larkin saved his car from a scrapyard. Brilliant, well done Nick. Great British Car Journey, we've got another car here by the look of it. SD1, lovely. I'm doing a walk around. I wasn't meant to be doing a walk around, I was meant to be picking out my favourites. Let's go to the pride of ownership, because I'll definitely have some favourites here. Shout out to the Rover 600-800 Owners Club. Loving that, that's a mighty fine colour. Look at this Auto Bianchina van. Driven one, fairly recent. It's another right-hand drive van. That is achingly pretty, based on the Fiat 500. So we have got a video of one of those on the channel. Is this a Piper GT, or is it a Nova? Nova, isn't it? Yeah, Nova kit car, Volkswagen Beetle based. The canopy slides up to let you get in, and you get an enormous pantograph wiper. Beautiful E39 BMW, that's just lovely. Very mischievous Ford Anglia, Lotus Esprit, and what's under the cover, folks? What's under the cover? Is it a Clio? I think it's a Clio Williams. We've got a very, very fat arched BMW 6 Series. Look at that, that is all of the wide body. I bet you 100% Mini HubNut is going to get excited about that. I think that's very much his sort of vehicle. Alright, Alfa Romeo Giulia, very pretty. Ford Orion, lovely to see. A Mark III Escort, but a Mark I Orion, because it was the first Orion. This is a booted Escort. So if you go and look at the back, I always liked these. I thought the rear lamps were very stylish and broke away from that ribbed light effect of earlier Fords. I've got a Rolls-Royce Camargue, magnificent motor car, giving us a pantograph wiper and possibly headlamp brushes. No, it doesn't have them. I'm disappointed. Mini Jet Black, one of many special editions once Austin Rover realised that the Mini could actually be marketable, and a very slammed, very beige Volvo 240. Very nice. Behind that we've got Ford Mustang, Porsche Boxer in that lovely green colour. Wonderful Vauxhall PA Cresta, early one with the free window rear end. SS? Is it? It is. Oh wow. That belongs to Russ Swift. So Russ Swift, he's actually sat in a Montego, but I'm going to try and find in the next haul. He did a stunt where he drove a Montego around a car park, and it was a very notable ad campaign. Apparently that's his SS 100. So SS is Jaguars in its pre-war form. Post-war, they decided to go with the Jaguar badge rather than SS. I mean, why? Why would you do that? Who can imagine? Right, moving along, we've got Peugeot 106 Rally. Oh, can you imagine me having a car that clean? It would never happen. That is absolutely beautiful. And here's the Boxster next to a little MG Midget 1500. Oh, it's the first car of the owner. So lost the car and then found the car again. Oh wow. Belongs to Clive Thompson. That's a beauty. So people will be picking their favourite. Lovely Austin 6 here. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, I think Nick, the owner of this, came up to the stand yesterday to have a chat. That is stunning. The oldest and rarest car in this year's display. Wow. That must be a fascinating thing to drive. So thanks Nick for coming over and having a word earlier. The MG Octagon Car Club, covering the T-type midgets mostly, I think, but I think that might be an earlier one. I think Tim's been over talking to them. Let's go and see what else we can find. Someone was bemoaning the lack of American cars in the live stream. How's that for you? Bad luck, apparently. They've been waiting too long for a cup of tea. It's a dangerous thing. That's what can happen. That is lovely. A much modified Trabant. Stunning. That is beautiful Trabant. Daihatsu Coupe. And look at this. There's a Beetle in there somewhere. Looks like is that the classic Jag back axle? Rover V8. That's amazing. We've got an Aston Martin DB Mark II. We were following a Mark III in Cardigan just the other week. Crazy. There's astonowners.com. Oh wow, this is a DB9, naked DB9. There you go, and a Lagonda in the background. Jarrett cars, a nice display. A Bradford van, a little flat twin engine in those. But I've come over here because I saw this particular Jarrett, the gold one, the Javelin, on my way to the show. It was being trailered up or down rather, the M6 motorway. So the Javelin is next to a Jupiter, the same sort of platform, same flat 4 engine, 1.5 litres. But as much as I like the Jupiters, I'm all about the Javelins. They're astonishing, lovely, lovely cars to drive. Really must get a video done on one. And more modified Americana for you. Fiat X19s, we know how much fun they are. Club Alpha up the back there. There's a lot to see, but I am being drawn to this display over here. We've got a lovely 240Z, and we've got this Honda Prelude Mark 1. I was always fascinated with these. The low lines, the rear wiper on a saloon, single wiper up front on right-hand drive. Left-hand drive had 2 wipers, and that one's for sale apparently. $9 grand, blimey. Over here, a display I definitely want to see, National Microcar Rally. We've got a Barclay 105 here. It's got the Royal Enfield engine, I think. Look at that. So phenomenally quick, apparently, the little B105s. We've got the Fiat 500 based Gamine, and then Tony's beautiful Gogomobile Coupe. That is just an absolute delight. And I'm going to guess that's Grant's PLP 50. I think this was here last year. It's always a pleasure to see it. Wow. I think we got a photo of Mini HubNut in it last year, and now we've got a Noble. This was a design, a Foldermobile, existed in many different forms in different countries, Greece, Germany, I think, but Noble were known as here. So here's a car I'm very pleased to see here, the Lancio Ailia. If you haven't seen my recent test of one, go and check it out. This is a formidable motor car. Monocoque construction, pillarless styling, so you can open the doors, there is no B pillar. Narrow angle V4 engine with rear wheel drive. But you cannot believe how well these cars drive for a 1930s design. They are astonishing. And next to that is a beautiful Flaminia Cabriolet. That is utterly lovely. Another beautiful car. This is a Lancia Lambda. Citroen Traction Avant, get in the C, because the Lancia Lambda was monocoque construction, well ahead of it, although with an open body. So there's no separate chassis on the Lambda, but very, very engineering focused, as sort of all Lancias of this era are. You can still see it's almost got that beetle back look at the Aprilia. Beyond that, in the auction section, this remarkably beautiful Cadillac. Look at how the bonnet opens though. Better hope you don't break down on the other side. That's not very practical for the UK, is it? And looking enormous next to this tiny little, rather scared looking Fiat 500. Talbot Sunbeams, loads of them. I'll tell you what I want to see, a non-Lotus one. Exceedingly rare cars. Panning round this beautiful green, very early Lancia Beta Coupe. And we got a Lancia 8 FEMA 8.32. We get a Ferrari V8 engine, we get a pantograph wiper, and we get a pop-up spoiler out the boot. And there was one of these at Rustival as well. Hello Ben, if you're watching. The XJ40 Register has a fascinating display here. This is a car borrowed from Jaguar Daimler Heritage Trust. It's a car we've seen before. Thankfully now with its bonnet on, it did have a Perspex bonnet for a time. But this is Jaguar's own design study for an XJ40 estate. They never proceeded with it. Slightly odd, quite surprisingly curvaceous at the back. But along here is an aftermarket XJ40 estate. One of two cars built, I believe, to this design, right? The other survivor is hidden, I believe, in France at the moment. So this is a slightly different take on the Jaguar estate. So which one are you preferring? Are you liking the green one with its sharper lines? Or do you prefer the curvy silver one that Jaguar built themselves? Let me know down in the comments. Strong contender for oldest car in the show, an 1897 Daimler Grafton Phaeton. Wow, it's the oldest surviving Coventry-built Daimler. So a reminder that Daimler split off from the German branch and somehow retained the use of the name. This is a conquest roadster, an unsuccessful attempt to woo America with a sports car sort of design, and the Daimler Dolphin from 1938. I think these got the wrong show. The Camping and Caravan show was some weeks ago. 164 grand. That's a big fat note. But I've come into Hall 1 where all the fancy stuff is. Not because there's necessarily very much HubNut stuff in here, but I see an Applejack Metro that I think was at Rustival. But because down here on the Lamborghini stand is Harry Metcalf's very well travelled Lamborghini Countach. And I want to come and look at the windscreen wiper because I am HubNut. Look at that engineering. 2 arms, 2 blades. There we got a very well travelled car. He's driven a lot of miles in it quite recently, I think, judging by footage I've seen on Ian Tyrrell's garage. Well worth a look. Porsche 924. Yeah, they've got their own club, their own display here. Lovely Lotus Elan's there. Got the NSXs over here. Variously beautiful cars. BMW Club GB gives us some headlamp wiper action. Eventually. And this is nice. Again, they're not focusing just on the powerful stuff. They've got an Isetta over here and a 700 Coupe. Beautiful, beautiful car, a 700 Coupe. I think Michelotti may have been involved in those. It certainly looks very Hino Contessa around the front, doesn't it? So a beautiful car. So really these are the cars that saved BMW, because previously it was making big enormous things that it couldn't make enough profit on. Let's go mooching around. There's some Alfa Romeo thing, new thing. There's quite a few clubs that have got new cars, and I kind of get it. Some of them are quite exciting. The Renault 5 EV is here on another stand. That is quite pretty, I must admit. Is that fourth? See, don't even identify it. There's a letter spotted furious driving. No cameras, no cameras. GT40s here. But yeah, we need to have a look at this. This is the Maguire Showcase. Stunning E30 there. But naturally I am most excited about the Applejack Metro over here. Yes, this was at Rustival. Look at it, absolutely stunning. It's nice to see it under the sparkly lights. I thought this was a Facel-Vega Facelia, but I think Facel-Vegas must just be smaller than I think. This is a HK 500 with an enormous Chrysler V8 engine. Utterly beautiful French car, but I was very pleased to see at the show, even if I got it slightly wrong. Oh my gosh, this is something a bit special. It's one of the 8 prototypes built by Keria Touring in Milan in 1948. So this was preparing Bristol for its own post-war range of cars, which may or may not have been influenced by BMW. Yeah, spoils of war and all that. But that's a fascinating car. Apparently it was found in a Swiss scrapyard in the 70s and has thankfully survived. Interesting double bumper layout. It's a shame they haven't got a 401 or 402 here to show you what those cars look like. This is a 405, a 5-door version of the 404 effectively. Here's the 404 with bomb crater grille. So yeah, nice display. A lovely display of Jensen's, car built in the Black Country in West Bromwich, and famous for having adjustable grills. So that's obviously to keep the engine warm. You can adjust it so it opens up and allows more airflow. But when they went to the 541, oh there you go, this 541R is demonstrating a more open grille position. But when they went to the 541S, they ditched that and just went for a conventional grille. Some very interesting cars over here. We've got Ellie's friend 77RW. So we got the oldest and the youngest E-types there. That's 77RW is the oldest survivor, Geneva show car, first production open 2-seater. The oldest fixed head also survives, and then this is the final car, which is part again of the Jaguar Daimler Heritage Trust fleet. As is the Group 44 race car over here, which on a visit to the museum I managed to capture some footage of this running with its V12 engine, pantograph wiper, lovely. And there we go. That makes a truly awesome noise. But then so does the D-Type, to be fair. So that's the Jaguar Drivers Club. I like this Ferrari Quattroporte, the original Quattroporte, next to the Series 3 Quattroporte, and apparently Quattroporte is the theme. We've got the much later designed Series 4 and Series 5. They haven't got a Series 3, which was more interesting. Lots of Citroen quirkiness in that. This is the Atwell Wilson Motor Museum, somewhere I must pay a visit. Look at this astonishing British Gas van. That's lovely. Sinclair C5, Austin A35 over there, a Wallace and Gromit replica motorbike and sidecar. Loving it. Lovely. Oh gosh, it is getting busy. The doors will be opening fairly soon. Try and find my way in. Morning, Tom. That's Tom from the British Motor Museum, and we're in. We get to abuse our position as exhibitors for a bit. Let's go and see what's in Hall 5 that really caught my eye in the live stream. Now, something I didn't realise yesterday is this car on the National Motor Museum stand. Some of the restoration work has been done by Anthony Hamilton and his workshop. So Anthony is Lewis Hamilton's dad, and he was here yesterday on this stand. That'll annoy Miss HubNut, Little Miss HubNut rather. But let's go and see. I want to go and see the TV detector van again, because as I was explaining in the live stream yesterday, these detector vans drove around scaring people to death, going, oh no, they will detect I've got a television. It never worked. So it's pretty much just a prop to scare people into getting a TV license. Brilliant things. I hadn't really noticed yesterday, but this little thing is apparently twin engined. Oh, it's a V-twin engine. Wow, that's crazy. We've got the duck over here, the amphibious duck that I saw yesterday. Yeah, there's a few cars I definitely want to show you a bit more in high res. So one of them is the Honda Acti K truck in this transporter, and the other one is the HSV Malo that is also in this transporter. Holden pickup, but HSV being the AMG brand type thing is how that works. So it is a Maloo with the LS V8 engine and over 400 brake horsepower, because that's what you need in your work pickup. So here's a very interesting car, and the owner came up and had a chat with me yesterday. It's a Swallow Doretti, and apparently designed by Frank Rainbow, and uses TR running gear, I think, but a very, very pretty car. And then by one of my favourite designers, Giovanni Michelotti, the Triumph Italia. That's a beautiful car. Chassis number 30, that one apparently. And then we got a TR7 here, which apparently a famous Italian designer said it really looks like that on both sides. TR6, a TR4 GT. I thought it was a Dove, but I don't think it is a Dove. That's like more like a GT6 fastback that's been grafted on that. Oh, I like that. That's very pretty. So we've got the Morris Minor Millions down here. A lovely collection of Minor Millions, and don't forget they did modify the badge to say Minor Million to celebrate a million being built. Citroen Mahari. We've got lots of people have been going in the Flintstones 2CV and wobbling it all over the place. We got a lovely red and white dolly. I'm just coming around for another look, just because A, the Citroen Car Club have finished their stand now, and I felt bad about that in the live stream, and B, I just want to show you all this stuff in proper high def as well. So that is Will's beautiful Belgian Post Office 2CV next to Rob Sansom's gorgeous 1974, representing the fact that the 2CV was relaunched in the UK in 1974, which terrifyingly was 50 years ago and 4 years before I was born. But yeah, this has been in Rob's family from, not from new, because I think it has actually left his ownership and come back to him a couple of times, but keep it this time, Rob. And next to this beautiful SM, do we know someone, etc, etc. We got Jamie's gorgeous Visa, and again, because we're now high def, I will show you the interior again, because it warrants it. Look at that. Gorgeous. I do more love for the Renault Master, and I saw someone was asking, has it got dealer plates on it? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, they do look like dealer plates. Green Ace Garage in Ipswich. So that is just stunning. I love that so much. Amazing vehicles. And it's got a camper conversion on it as well. Look at that. Yep, full approval. I don't know what those seats are out of. Not a Renault, or certainly not a Renault Master. Let's go and see what else we can find. Twingos, variously. We've got Wartburgs and Trabants. I think we've got an extra Trabant in. Kia Pride. Lovely to see the rear engine Skodas, rear engined Alpines. We've got the Renault 12 next to a Clio, next to a 4. And then we've got the Renault 5, the brand new one, sharing its retro touches. It'll upset some people to have that there, I'm sure. We've got Volvos down there, Volvos up here. We've got the Matra Ranch Rover I drove, and Matt has also driven. A lot of journalists have driven this one. There aren't many you can drive when you ask to borrow one. So that is the Matra Rancho. Great to see. Matra Morena. We've got cars arriving for the Sporting Bears, including the enormous Plymouth. Marcus just pulling up. Maserati. So all manner of cars available for the dream drives. The Pagoda SL there. There's mini Land Rovers that you can drive. We've got the Lomax kit cars of the Citroen Specials Club. And the Mosquito here. It's got BMW power by the look of it, I think. And the Burton kit car, not Blackjack Avion, don't know what I was on about, I've gone mad. And there we go, that is probably the highlights of Hall 5. Look, it's a Ferrari estate thing, but that's not very practical. Gosh, it's apparently the 7th Moke prototype. I'm going to say the seat looks uncomfortable. I'm going to say, but that's an astonishing thing. Here's a production Moke. And they got a sign up dispelling the myth, saying these were not developed for the military market. That's a Portuguese built Moke, I think. Production went to Australia and then went to Portugal, and now there's a new company making an electric Moke. Johnny Smith of Late Break Show has tested one of those in Port Merion, fittingly. We've got modern minis as well in here, but yeah, I'm going to say we're done in Hall 5. There's a lot to see, but I need to get to Hall 8. It was very busy on the stand on the Saturday. This is actually one of the quieter moments, so I managed to sneak away to get some footage. But here's Bella looking resplendent in her Fuel Lagoon screen cover, and next to Steph's standard. But huge thanks to everyone who came to just have a chat or to buy merchandise. The story's back online again. A lot of people had a chat with Tim to talk about the tyre video. But yeah, this is what it looks like when the doors are actually open at the show. Much of my filming was done before the doors open and might give a false idea that it's quite a quiet show. No, it gets very, very busy indeed. It's quietening down on the Saturday now. It's gone 4 o'clock on the Saturday afternoon. Let's look at some of my favourites in Hall 4. For a start, we've got the Colt Car Club and this amazing stand. It's got Sarah Crabtree on it. Good to see. But yeah, we've got the Colt GSR, the GTO. 5-speed gearbox. That is a beautiful, beautiful car. And then we've got the Galant over here, Galant Coupe, looking absolutely splendid. And this beautiful Colt Lancer. Now, I need to explain that Mitsubishi was not the brand used in the UK. Even though they got Mitsubishi badges, they were sold as Colt instead. I came to the motor show in 1988, I think it was, and I could not find the Mitsubishi stand, and it's because it was the Colt Car Company. So that's what was going on there. All the models, Danger Danger to the Wallet, Droop Snoop Forenzas, TVRs. Over here we've got a TVR Griffith, one of my favourites of the TVRs, next to Not a Ferrari. It's a Mazda MX-5, I think, under there. So yeah, always getting really busy around here. This is what I film in the morning, but I wanted to give you a flavour of what the show is actually like, because obviously when we come in first thing in the morning, there's no one here. Look at that beautiful stanced Chevette, the beautiful HB Vivas. Let's go and have a look at that estate. Let's sneak our way through. Oh, look at the ambulance. Marvellous. And the custom estate with those Capri rear lights. We looked at it in the live stream. Let's look at it again. But yeah, the interesting world of the Vauxhalls. There's a Vauxhall E-Type for you. And Cavaliers and Chevettes, variously. Lovely. I want a Lotus Carlton in bright yellow. Why not? I didn't see that on the live stream yesterday, I don't think. So that's extraordinary. Turbocharged as well. Blimey. Calibras, variously, that one's a V6. And then we've got the rally cars. I need to come down to the historic Marathon Rally Group again to show you some of their vehicles. You can see why I come around in the morning now, can't you? And that's the World Cup rally cars, including the Cortina with its exhaust going up and over the roof. So that is a car that has seen more of the world than I have. And the London-Sydney Marathon, that car has done, and I think the Capri has done the same event, but then also done the 1974 London Sahara Munich World Cup Rally. So great to see. And then the reunited pair of Dolomites. So that is some of my highlights of Hall 4, but to be honest, there were many. Our Project Mini on the Canakin District Car Club. This is Project Vinny. Project Vinny proudly wears a HubNut sticker, so that's all good to see. Hello! They've invited me to come and do some auto testing, but it's just finding the time. I would love to. The rotary Mazdas variously, and this RX-8 is actually showing off the extra door, so we'll go around for a look at that. There you got it, opening rear doors, and then just find your way around the seat belt. It's a little cozy back there, to be honest. Love to drive one of these. It'll be an interesting test to do. Hello, thank you very much. This is the Toyota Celica we looked at, that I thought was an overseas conversion, but no, it was actually done by Avon near Warwick, not a million miles away from here. Very rare, one of 3 cars, the only one that is on the road. So that's very good to see. Got the pop-up headlamps up. Lovely.
It's a pop-up headlight rather than a pop-up headlight.
Oh yeah, just what it's winking.
No, so yesterday...
Don't forget you've got Carlos Sainz limited edition next.
Yeah, yeah.
So headlights were down yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
Today, one headlight up. Tomorrow, with that headlight up and that one down.
Okay.
So when I see a photograph, I know which day it was done on.
Crafty, crafty. There we go, that's how you know.
Logic.
But we'll take in again the Carlos Sainz limited edition and the 4-wheel steering of the convertible. And then we've got the Cedrics and the MR2s and lots more auto jumble. We'll take in the Skyline C10 Ken Merry replica again, because we did have a look at it yesterday. I'm not sure the colour came across, really deep metallic green. It's absolutely beautiful. So it was imported as a Skyline C10, but has been given the full sort of race treatment, the fat arches and everything to make it a full-on GTR replica. Very, very impressive cars. Right, we have been to the Vauxhall. Now we're in the Ford Hall. Terrible, I'm very, very sorry. I hadn't noticed this yesterday. Look, this Anglia TV. I like it, because Anglia TV was a company, and it's from Anglia. It's that simple, folks. It's going to pick my highlights of this haul. There's a mild risk we're getting rickrolled here, but this amazing custom Cortina wagon definitely caught my eye yesterday. We've got a V6 engine up front. We've got the slot mags, the flame job, and the honking great side pipes. So I bet everyone knew when this rolled in. Look at that. That is a mightily impressive wagon. So I couldn't really show you in the live stream, but this is the different rear spoilers of the Escort Cosworth. This is the lower spoiler, and then this is obviously the more fabled whale tail. So don't see many of these. I think everyone prefers the iconic whale tail, but it's a gorgeous, gorgeous colour, sort of mulberry. Then we've got the AA service van on here on the Transit Van Club stand. Lovely Mark 1 and the eBay special. So apparently this was built by eBay to demonstrate stuff you can buy on eBay. So very nice. Hello. Oh, hiya, how you doing? There we go.
Camera versus camera.
Yeah, we've had people asking about you.
Magnetic influence.
Yeah, it's the famous lesser spotted Pete C.
If you put something in between there's a force field.
Yeah, the streams are crossing now.
Oh, don't cross the
It's
street.
very good to see you, because people have been asking in my comments, where's Pete C?
I'm around.
There he is, there he is.
Hello. Camera versus
Excellent.
camera.
Yeah, see you again.
See you again.
And then obviously we've got all the sporty Fords, XRs over here, RSs over here. But naturally, what has caught my eye is the dangly mirror Mark 1 Ford Sierra. So only the lower spec models, the base and I think the L, had the dangly mirrors. They didn't last long. So from very early production, that is a 1.6L, no rear wiper, but I think even the gear early on, you had to pay extra for the rear wiper. Have I just found the missing Fiesta Super Sport? No, they're 1300Es. We got the, oh yes, that's one of my cars of the haul, is the Ford Falcon FG Ute. So Betty's relative, they kept developing it, they kept making Utes, the FG and the final FGX. So that is an FG Ute, and that is a Fiesta with a Z-Tech in it. And let's get some purple and some purple. This is a National Street Van Association, so this isn't even a Ford, but still the paint on it is quite extraordinary. It's like Terminator is behind the wheel. I'm slightly nervous now. That's a lot of skulls. Have they been to Mallorca? That seems to be all there is for sale in Mallorca. Loving the police Capri. Didn't get a look at that in the live stream yesterday. All the older Fords we've got going on here. Ford Model A's. Ford actually stopped production of the T completely and kind of rebuilt the factory to build the T's. The side valve Fords, the UK ones. Yeah, amazing stuff. We're back in Hall 5 where I showed you many highlights from today, but I didn't get a chance to show you this. The LDV or Leyland Daff 200 in Birmingham Evening Mail, or sorry, Birmingham Post trim. It looks absolutely amazing, and it's got some lovely details. It is a recreation, it's not the original van, but yeah, that's a wonderful thing. Apparently this was a service van for a Leyland Daff dealership down in Devon somewhere, so it is genuine condition, which means, you know, there's a bit of bubbling in places, don't look too closely, but overall astonishing and lovely condition. Oh, it just brings back memories so much. I used to have an LDV 400, and if you go back on the channel a bit, I drove an LDV Pilot, but it was so rusty I almost fell out of it. Oh, let's have a look inside even. Look, I remember those plastic seats. I actually built some of these dashboards when I was on my work experience at the LDV factory in Washwood Heath. The smell even brings it back. Interesting, we've got UB40 cassettes. UB40, or some of them, are playing this, well, nearby venue tonight. Oh, variable intermittent wipers, how posh. So here we are, this is the Women Drivers Social Club. We've got a fine display, this lovely Riley here, the Morris Minor. It's kind of done in the lilac of the million, but it isn't one. And we're celebrating automotive women. We've got Kay Petra, Betty Haig, Lola Lombardi, a famous racing driver. So there's lots going on over here. We've got Austin J40 pedal car, Bertha Benz, obviously the first woman of motoring, and some frantic artwork going on here as well. Hello, it's that wrenching wench again. What you got? Oh, friendship bracelets. Oh, that's lovely. So they've been very busy. See you later. And Peggy is parked between the stands because it belongs to Becca, a passenger seat podcast. If I can get the zoom to zoom out. There we go. And she's splitting her loyalties between the Women Drivers Social Club and the Morris Minor young members. So they're busy over here. It looks like they've been working. This was being pushed around this morning. And yeah, they're having a busy old time as well. So lots going on in Hall 5. Oh, I may have a new favourite car in Hall 5. This is a Triumph 2.5 PI estate, but it's four-wheel drive. Ferguson Formula, the FF people, have lifted the engine to give it front wheel drive. We can just see a drive shaft peeking out down there. Cooey! Don't want to focus on the drive shaft. Apparently it's a bit woefully unreliable. It was ordered by a Swiss vet apparently. So a 4-wheel drive Triumph 2.5 PI. Beautiful cars. The estate's always retained the earlier tail lights of the Mark 1, but just lovely. And as a kid I was always fascinated by the side indicators here. I don't think anyone else has done that. And there you can see the front drive system. So that is a very interesting car, absolutely hiding in plain sight. Some bonus action for you, the National Street Rod Association. So that's based on an Austin 10, I think. Oh no, it is a Ruby. Wow, a little Austin Ruby. So based on the Austin 7. Let's go wider. There we go. That's amazing. Oh, look at that. So you literally sit on the back seat. Oh yes, there's the classic Ruby shape. Amazing. And we've got a Jaguar Coupe here, handcrafted Coupe. I'm not 100% sure of the airbag steering wheel, but oh my days, there's an awful lot of work gone into that. The Mark 7, I think, with a split windscreen. Wow. And we had people complaining about a lack of American stuff, so here we are. A Buick Invicta and the old Chevrolet truck. That's lovely. And what have we got here? A Dodge Royal Lancer. Never heard of it. Obviously the 50 Chevy is a bit more common to American eyes, the General Lee behind it. Yeah, wow. Oh, Camaro, I love Camaros. And that looks very fast, I'm going to say. And I imagine you can hear that when it fires up. Oi, straps to hold the supercharger on in case of blowback. We've got the DeLoreans here, and because it's early they haven't all got their doors up yet. Obvious Back to the Future references. And we got the Crown Vics too. So of course Matt isn't here with his today. Prisoner transport, keep back. So this is the area to be when it sounds off later. So this is where all the Americana stuff is. Oh wow, that Plymouth, or is it a later Dodge Charger? I'm awful on American cars, I do apologise. Plymouth Barracuda, I know that because it says Barracuda on it. Mustang GT500, I know that because it says GT500 on it. And this I love to see. We've got a Fox body, which is a very HubNut sort of a Mustang, but we've got a Mustang 2 as well. So this was the replacement for the original Mustang. They tried to turn it into more of an economy car, albeit an economy car but could still have quite big engines. So the Mustang 2, that's great to see. Yeah, some lovely stuff in Hall 5, particularly taken by the Sunbeam Alpine. Very attractive lady driver there. And then we've got the Sunbeam Talbot Sports Saloon from 1938. That is immensely beautiful. More Sinclair C5s. Good to see. There's a naked one, naked Sinclair C5. So that's the Lotus developed chassis underneath the Sinclair C5. And Single Owners Club doing their bit to try and build up the Roots branding, although some of these cars are pre-Roots, I think. But I believe this pair of Singer Roadsters here in the middle were here at this show 40 years ago, and one of them still has the same owner. So that's utterly marvellous. And I believe a younger member of their club owns this stunning Singer Gazelle, very clearly based on the Hillman Minx. The Singer was kind of slightly sporty, I think, fully restored over 20 years ago. Wow, so that's an older restoration, still looking mighty fine. Got a lovely display by the DKW Owners Club. We've got this DKW 1000, the Auto Union badge proud on the bonnet. Morning! And these slightly later ones. This was the last DKW part of the Auto Union. So that's where the Audi badge comes from. It's 4 rings for 4 different brands, DKW being part of them. and this was the F102, was it? But in the end they fitted a water-cooled engine, and that became the first Audi of the modern era. Audi was actually a much older car brand dating back to the pre-war period, and evolving into later Audis such as this, the gorgeous 100 Coupe. I used to jump around on the bonnet of one of those in a friend's garden when they were worthless. The mind boggles. But yeah, really nice cars down this end. More metal flake on beach buggies if that's your thing. Just in Hall 2, I talked about Russ Swift earlier. He actually sat in this Montego on Friday, I believe. It's Joseph Faulkner's lovely Austin 7 box saloon that was at Rustival. And we've also got the very, very lovely Metro that we see quite often. It's owned by Neil Allen, and it's absolute beauty. It has got MG alloys on it, but because the Metro originally had metric wheels, getting the right tyres is an absolute pain. So it's probably easier to upgrade the rims. I mean, it's already got a sporty rear spoiler because it's an HLE. So the HLE, taller gearing, and got the MG Metro's rear spoiler to try and boost economy. And I used to have that Corgi Metro as a child. Mine was red. Oh, and we must, of course, give a shout out to the Gilberns. Where would we be without the Gilberns? Not Wales' only car manufacturer, but certainly the most successful one, especially in the sort of post-war era. This is the original GT, and then we've got the Invader Mark 1 on the end here in what is a very 1970s colour. It was quite literally taken all 3 days of the show, but I finally found the Fiesta Super Sport. So the first sporty Fiesta was the Super Sport, although it wasn't really necessarily all that sporty. This one definitely is. It's got twin Delortos on it and a four-branch manifold. That looks a bit purposeful. But if we look in this one, this is more what you expect, the 1.3 Kent or Valencia engine. So it's not particularly potent, but what made them stand out was these funky side graphics. And look at the interiors. Very, very sporty. You even get a rev counter. Still a 4-speed gearbox, of course, but I think we've got three. I think there were 4 colours. And yeah, this is the silver one. Also demonstrating its little engine. Look at that, for a clean engine bay. So that's the Fiesta Super Sport. In a way, more interesting than a Fiesta XR2. I don't think there is a Mark 1 XR2 here. If there is, I haven't seen it. So Fiesta Super Sports, I'm very glad to have found you at last. Well, we are nearing the end of the show. We're in those final precious few minutes where we reflect on what has been an incredible weekend. All sorts of mayhem and delicious motor vehicles and meeting people, saying hello. Voices are now struggling because we've been talking for like 3 days now, but absolutely marvellous. Huge thanks to everyone who came along and was a part of a very lovely weekend. But yeah, I have to pause to avoid ruining people's photographs, but that's fine. Take different routes. It's been splendid. I didn't really shine a light on the Sunbeam Tigers. We've got some interestingly modified Sunbeam Tigers over here in Hall 5. Oh, hello. Oh, thank you very much. More HubNutters, they're everywhere. Yeah, we're just loitering near the Crown Vics because I suspect that's where it's going to get loud. Oh, look at this. C8 Corvette demonstrating its folding roof. I didn't know they did that. So there we go. I've learned something new just by being here today. But I can hear batteries being connected back up, and I think the American area is probably where we need to be. We are counting down. What's the time now?
It should be time very soon.
Very soon. Very soon. Yeah, I haven't noticed too much down here. We got all sorts of Corvettes going on. I do like this generation of Corvette. So that's good to see. And Jeep Renegade. It's definitely not a ramp, it's a rock. Just happens to be ramp shaped. and another very, very cool, very, very modified. Which one is that? Is that a Ford or Chevrolet? Ford panel van. Wow, very nice. Right, there's people poised everywhere, and we're just waiting for that magic moment. We need the ladies and gentlemen, and then it will just go manic. So we keep on recording. Oh. It's over! I knew they wouldn't disappoint us. That's kind of us done. So thanks for watching. This is not the short report I hoped for, is it? But yeah, we very much appreciate your support. Don't forget, head to the HubNut store, buy lovely merchandise. The class of 2024 t-shirts, mugs and stickers will only be available for a limited time, and we'll see you in a future video. Farewell.